Want a business you love that pays you well? Want a lifestyle where you can do what you want, when you want? Then you are in the right spot. It's time to overcome online overwhelm with OnlineMasterPlanSeries.com. Here's your host and one of the OMS mentors, Laura Waage.
Heather, one thing that you and I have both talked about because we both experienced it is the fact that there are so many different tips and tricks for being able to successfully delegate. So I'm wondering if you would be willing to share one of your personal tricks that you leverage that makes delegation work for you.
Yes, actually, there's two things that I do time and time again. Now, the first one is I call it closing the loop. So when you are giving somebody something to do, you have to set up a system where there's a briefing phase. So that basically that's the giving or the delegation point. But then the phase at the end where they report back to you and tell you how it went, how things could be improved, and that it's just finished. So often people will just give somebody something to do and then never tell them what they expect when the project's done, and then never even know, number one, if the project's finished, if there's been challenges in that project, things that you could perhaps make better from your end. So it's very important that you think of the end, the delivery of that actual item, as much as you're thinking about the delegation part. So that's the first one. And then the second one is the good training to supplement it. So again, I just the other day, it's funny, I was having a conversation with a woman who is a VA, and she has all these girlfriends of hers saying, oh my gosh, I want a VA as well. And so she's been helping them find VAs, virtual assistants, and they've all come back to her and they said, I don't know what to do with her. and my friend's like, well, what do you mean? And they said, well, you know, I've just told her to go do my social media. And then she says, well, what do you want me to do? So many people don't understand that when you are actually delegating, there's all these parts to it. You know, there's the training. You actually have to tell them how to do something from the way that you expect it to be done. But then, of course, like I just said, there's the whole loop of here it is, and here's how I want you to report back to me when it's done. It's
important to remember that specific directions will yield specific results.
Yes.
Vague directions will get you vague results.
And lack of training at all will basically create a team that has no idea of where they're supposed to be headed and what they're supposed to do, and most importantly, what the expectations are. Managing expectations in your team is as important as managing them with your clients.
And when you're talking about a team of outsourcers, outtaskers, virtual workers, they want reliable, consistent work. They want to be able to take home a paycheck. It's not like they have a company that they're working for that, you know, all they have to do is show up and they get paid. So they want good direction. They want clear instruction. They want to be able to deliver on the work so that you're happy and you continue to employ them. But if you don't give that clear instruction, it's really debilitating for them as well, because they can't deliver if they don't know what to deliver on.
I love that you said that. I think now is a perfect time. I just wanted to share a piece of advice I got the other day. I was just having, you know, a chat with a fellow female entrepreneur, and she was saying to me that there's that great moment in time for all entrepreneurs where you hit a moment where you graduate from becoming a solopreneur into an entrepreneur, and you're growing your business, and part of that means taking on new people, but you're not yet able to have full-time staff, or maybe you just don't want to. You have to be able to treat your outsourcers, or the people that are your contractors or freelancers. You have to be able to think like a head of HR in a bigger company. And what that means is that you give them KPIs or measurements in their work, but you also allow them to have bonuses. And you literally think like they are an employee, even if they're just a freelancer, and you structure out a plan for them so they know where they fit into your business, they buy into your vision, and they also know when they've done something well. And so many of us go into that arrangement thinking, oh yeah, they're just a freelancer, they're a contractor, and don't actually ever even think of them as the future or communicate their future in your business with you.
That's it for this episode. Don't let your next promising idea stop dead in its tracks because your overwhelm gets in the way. You need our free tips. Head on over to overcomeonlineoverwhelm.com now.